Now, let's go back to the IDE and learn more about string arrays. So as you can see, we have declared an array here which stores 3 strings. This is how we can write the index number for each string. Now right now we have shown you the strings stored at each index manually. And this is possible in a small array. But what about arrays which store hundreds and thousands of strings? Now let's say we want to find out what string is stored at place 112 in this array. Will we be able to do this manually? No, we can't. And therefore we have some functions that can simplify this for us. To get the value stored at a particular index in the array, we can use the get function. We have used the same function earlier to extract the value at a particular index in a string. This is how we can use it. This function will return the value stored at index 0 in the array. Let's look at the output. Yes, it gives us the value hello that was stored at position 0 in the array. Now if you see, there is a faded grey line underneath the get function. Looks like the IDE is trying to tell us something. Let's hover over it and see what it says. So here, the IDE says, should be replaced with indexing. We do not know what that means, so let's just keep our cursor over the get function and hit Alt plus Enter. Remember, this Alt plus Enter shortcut is going to be very useful to us in this training, and for your self-learning as well. Sometimes, when you don't know how to resolve an error, this Alt plus Enter gives you options and you can fix the faulty code on your own, as well as learn new things. Now let's select the first option that we get here. You will notice that the code has changed. Let's run this code and see if we get the same output. Yes, we do. Now let's see what the IDE did here. So, from the IDE's message, one thing is clear to us, that the IDE wanted us to replace the code we had written with this code, and the IDE calls it indexing. So what we understand from this is that we can write the name of the array with the index in square brackets to get the value at that index. This looks much neater and is a replacement for the get function. Now, we had said earlier that arrays are mutable but have fixed sizes. So let's try and change the values of this array now. This is how we can do it. So here, first we have printed the original value by using this statement. Then we simply write the index for which we want to change the value like this and give it the new value. We have given this new value in double quotes here since it is a string. And then we print the value at this index again to check if the value changed. Let's look at the output. Yes, we get the new value at index 1 now. So that was how we can change the values in an array. Now let's see if we can try to change the size too. But first, we need to check the size of this array. Remember, we must not rely on doing things manually since the size of this array could be really big. So we will use the size function. This is how we do it. Now let's run this code and see the output. Yes, we get the size of the array to be 3. And we can verify this by seeing that this array has 3 elements. Now let's try and add a new element to this array. So we can simply add another element at index 3 here, which will really mean that we are adding this value to the 4th position in the array. Let's print the value at index 3 now and see the output. Now if you see, the IDE is throwing an error message at us saying that the given array index is out of bounds. This means that we cannot change the size of the array. So till now, we have been printing only one element of the array at a time. What if we want to print all the elements in the array? Let's see how we can do it. The first thing we can try is to simply pass the name of the array in the print statement like this. Let's run this and see the output. No, we do not get the expected output, which means that this is not the way to do so. This is how we do it. Now let's see what we did here. We have used the arrays library, which consists of different functions which can be performed on an array. One of such functions is the toString function. This toString function converts the array into a string. And inside these round brackets, we have passed the array that we want to do this for. Again, the IDE highlights this in red. Let's hover over it and read the message. It says it's an unresolved reference. So let's press Alt plus Enter. Yes, it got resolved. So if you see here, the IDE has written some statement to resolve this error. Don't worry, you don't need to understand this statement. Now let's look at the output and see if it works. Yes, it does. We have printed all the elements of the array. Now before we end this video, let us look at the arrays.toString function that we used. The arrays.toString function returns a string representation of the array specified within these round brackets. The string representation consists of a list of the array's elements within square brackets. Elements are separated by commas. So what this is doing is that it is converting the array into a string and then printing all the elements. So that was all about arrays and their functions. Click Next whenever you are ready.